let's kick this off. Um, Welcome, everyone. This is Monday, June 2nd, and it's quite a fun day because it's also the first trading day of June. It just came out of the weekend, right? Um, so we'll start off with USDTD. um, so let's go back to the macro here real quick. So macro for USDTD still is this weekly inversion we're dipping into. We got quite a few spots here. We have not only the levels here on this side, but also here. So I'm, kind of doing a loose, representation here, but really the lines are more accurate. I'm expecting between 4.7 to 4.8 on the lower time frame. So the daily right here, we already dipped into it. We took 1 and 2 highs. So we possibly might have one more. But what's interesting is that even if we do have one more, any consolidation here is still going to be bullish on the monthly. Bearish on the monthly, which means that because we opened this candle, right? This is the June candle. This monthly is already below range balance on the previous month, right? We draw the range balance between the two. Bam, bam. Where are we? We're under, right? 4.8. So it's actually yellow. I'll drag this down a little bit more, right? So it's actually yellow. So as long as we stay under this yellow line this month, we're going to have some pumps in the market. Pumps. Because this is going to be an extension, bring us to this weekly right down here. So this month, I'm expecting some pretty big pumps back down to 3.4 on this extension. And it's already flipping red right now, right? It's already flipping red. So, and we're going to leave a breakaway gap. I would see this as a monthly breakaway gap, which effectively will either play out in the red or the teal, okay? And the quarterly here is still printing, right? Because we still have 28 days left in this quarter. So I am still cautiously optimistic on the quarterly, but so there's two reasons why, right? We did dip into this quarterly inversion. So this is already a quarterly bearish CSD. So we already confirmed that. However, we have a monthly that's still open at 7%. So I'd want to prepare for that scenario as well. Still, right? Still to this day, we want to prepare for that. So really what I'm seeing is what we want to try and do is this month is going to be a manipulation pump. We look to short the end mid to late June. And I'll kind of show you what I'm referring to when we go into Bitcoin now. Where is this? I am all over the place here. Too many circles. I'm going to remove some of these circles. So with that said, right, this month, we're already above balance. Same thing. We have a breakaway gap, not only in the weekly, but a monthly, and a weekly is right here, the yellow, and then we have the monthly right above it, right? So even if we consolidate, push down a little bit, and flip green, a lot of people look, here's the weird thing about this, is a lot of people look at this chart, classic ICT traders will look at this chart and they will not see, they'll see this as liquidity taken. However, there is no SMR. This is not an SMR here. This is actually really like bullish for if we can leave this breakaway gap for this week, these coming 2 weeks and this month, right? What I want to see is an extension where we take possibly 102, maybe not. It doesn't need to, honestly, even if consolidation here is bullish, right? I want to take all this liquidity on this week, like on this monthly candle, right? We have a monthly candle extension, but then we actually close the month back under 104, right? 104, 105, because that would confirm basically the high time frame deviation back down. This is effectively the max pain up here for shorts. So we want to liquidate those shorts. The people who are looking at this and saying this is the top, we want to liquidate those people first, right? After they're liquidated out of the market, that's when we'll short with the expectation that we consolidate, between the range of this week. So this weekly range, first green candle, I'll do the extension on this one real quick. It's probably not going to be much. Yeah, basically between here and like 120, right? So somewhere between I'm going to put it in orange. Actually, there's so many orange on here right now. I'll put it in teal, right? Somewhere between like, I'll just put it in like a random like 115 or something. Somewhere in teal is when we're going to look to short. What I'll probably do is I'll probably just start scaling in short with no stop. Basically no stop, like low leverage. Anchor it on like the second standard deviation. So something like up here, right? That would be the stop effectively, but it would be a manual stop. I'll call this out when I see it, when we get up there. But for now, just waiting until we get up there to do that. So yeah, that's Bitcoin, and then Ethereum as well. Oops. Same thing here, but a different structure, right? We're already sort of playing this out. I know that I have a lot of lines in my low time frame right here. I'll delete some of those. But effectively blue, I see pathing. This is a high time frame quarterly deviation as well, meaning we already broke back in high time frame range on Ethereum. So what we need to do is when we consolidate, we'll see the pump up to 3K, possibly a little higher, possibly. But the retracement will bring us all the way back down to 2K, possibly lower, but 2K. We want to see 2K hold, followed by a consolidation after that. And only then we'll see a new all-time high on Ethereum. But until then, I'm not really touching it on the high time frame yet. So I'm probably just wait to this play out a little bit more, right? I want to see under 2K again, or under 2.3. Because that would, or rather, I want to see this range. I want to see where this extends to. Then I'll take the range from there instead. But basically, I'm expecting that this weekly and this monthly candle does this extension, and then we take the range from there, and then we'll aim that as our TP. So if I'm like roughly saying somewhere around here, right, somewhere in this gap, we're going to end, then really our high time frame levels for entries is in between like under 2K, right? Somewhere between 2K to like 1.6 for a possible bounce. Cool. So I will turn the table to you guys. Let me know if you have any coins, any questions, and I will answer them as well. Post any coins you want me to check out, and we'll go from there. I'll give you guys a moment to post any coins first. So, excuse me, I'm eating my lunch as well. But this is Melania. I know that's the first recommendation you guys had. Taz, thank you for that one. Melania, I might, I'm neutral about Melania the person, but I'm quite bullish on Melania the coin. Purely because we've had quite a nice accumulation here. Very, very nice accumulation. And I'll kind of go through this real quick. We had a daily wick that was taken, followed by closures back in range, retest, right? This wick that was taken, so we have 3 drives down, 1, 2, 3. And now if we can break and mount this range, hold above 315, then this is going to be the bottom, guys. This is it, right? This is the bottom. So, we just need to consolidate on this weekly range, and that's it. And the upside on this is absolutely insane, right? Because of this range here. If we look at the weekly, we have gaps all the way up to like 170, followed by, the all-time high of 14. Because again, if that's the bottom, then really what we're going to just see is a break and mount of this range across the entirety, right? Until we build out like, some sort of market maker buy model, right? From here. So this is something that I'm holding for now. It has not invalidated. We're pretty clear still. Again, if we take this weekly right now, we're red, but if we can close and hold anywhere above, You see how close this is? Look at that. 3.159. If we can close in 6 days, right? Look at that. 6 of these candles. You do the math, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Already, if we're like 2 or 3 candles up, we're already back in range. So if we can make more closures back up here, then that's the bottom, guys. That's it. Just hold this. I'm riding this all the way to like $2, probably higher. Hopefully higher. I'm gonna keep runners for the all-time high. So yeah, cool meme coin. Probably the bottom. We'll see. Maker. Let's do that. I haven't looked at this in ages. Oof, it's been forever. I'm gonna just clean this up a little. Let's see. What do we got here? Meh. It's not. Its quarterly range is like a little iffy, but we do have one there. We did take that high. The next range high is all the way up here, which is actually kind of far. This extension is actually pretty decent, so the monthly might bring us to that. 1, 2. This is already, yes, so this is already flipping this range if we can hold above here. So here is, here's our SMR. We do have an SMR right here. This is pretty nice on the high time frame. We have 1, we have 2, so maybe not too bad, right? Not too bad. Monthly is still a little bullish, still a little. 1, 2, 3. What's our range for OTEs? 1, did it support? 2, yes, it did. It looks like it's supported from here. So I'll just mark this out, right? Right here, we have support. We broke above on the weekly. We closed above. We flipped 1. We flipped 2. Now this is the last one to flip. So on the daily, if we go in the tighter range on the daily, we do have an SMR here. 1, 2, 3. That would be our low if we're anchoring our stop. 8 hour, same thing. Closures above here. This would be our flip. And anchor the OTEs on that. And there's our play right here. So I'll mark it out for you guys. Something like a slow drift down, followed by a nice little pop up, right? We flip that range, retest this, and then we're crushing right through all these. So same thing as pretty much the rest of the market. So cool. Hopefully that helps. That's Maker. And again, once we do that though, it's one of those things that, right, we go up to these highs. I would see some sort of correction after that, right? Targeting roughly, range high like 3,500, 3,400. But we need to flip this range, right? We're in this range right now. We need to flip this, and then it's gonna basically just springboard right back up. Cool. So what's next? Whiff. Let's do whiff real quick. Haven't done whiff in a while either, so I'm gonna just clear this up. Let's check the top down from here. We got an inversion already. What else? Nothing much. We did not take the range high. We did not take the range low. That's kind of interesting. I rarely see these. On charts, but we are consolidating below. So this is a meme that effectively will probably have an end eventually. Somewhere, that's our balance. I'll just mark the quarterly right there. We have 1, we have 2, and then there's our range for the short bias. Long bias is the same thing. We get the monthly closure right here, which we're about to extend against. So weekly, already starting to slowly flip this, but this is, I don't really like how close this is, because we have not retested that. Yeah, so really this is a wider range, but what I would need to see is something like this, where we retest the bearish range of the 1.06 and then retrace to 0.06. Now, the problem with this, though, is that depending on the monthly and the weekly closure, this would either lead us all the way up here, or if we consolidate underneath, bounce from there, it would actually take the low. So this one I'm not personally not a fan of the structure here. But really the key would be the reaction in the 67-cent range on the daily. I would say it's basically bullish up until $1, because this range already has two drives. Two drives up, possibly a third actually. Maybe this could go a little higher. Either it would go here. I'm sorry, this range is a little higher. It does not have a third. So, or it would go up here and then back down. So that's two probabilities from there. But this range is a little messy. I can't really get a completely good read from it. But yeah, I definitely see it coming down to, again, the 0 to 17 cents. But whether or not it rejects from $1 or not, this would be a good short, the $1, because we already broke below that range. But if we consolidate above, we can break above that. Then the next short would be 160. So those would be the two shorts, followed by the long bias at 60 cents if we want to do that. But again, this one's the range is a little wide, so I still wouldn't really do this one yet. Either way, bias aside, I wouldn't do either side yet. Cool. AVAX. This is a nice little running joke for me and some of my friends. But AVAX is going to $30 first. I'll let that be known on the record. Jokes aside, this quarterly here, all we need to do is close above $20, basically in the next 28 days, because we already swept the lows 3 times. We take the high one more time, and our short bias is basically between 30 and 40. So this monthly right now, we did not, like, this is a little bearish, but like I would say, even if we do sweep 19, right, we're not going to go anywhere below like 15.50. We're not really. I wouldn't expect us to go anywhere below like $15 or $16 from this range. If anything, it would be a bounce like that, or it would just be a slow bounce like this, right? But effectively, the draw that I want to see still is $30 before I would look to short from here. Again, this range on this chart still very iffy. I don't really like it where it is because of this structure right now. Because it could dip all the way down to like $18 to $17, and that would be the long bias, but it is still hovering on the long bias here, right? I want to see some sort of consolidation, and then eventually $30 for the short, back down to $10 roughly. So hopefully that helps you. Cool. Wow. Now you guys are flooding chat. Let me see. ICP. Let's check ICP. I'll do the spot chart. So spot chart on this is actually really nice. ICP is really cool because we did make weekly closures and monthly closures back in range, but we've since rejected them. And the quarterly here actually is kind of in a good spot, because even if we do, we're not, the problem is we are under OT bias for the range, which makes me think we're going to make one more low. This is not really an SMR right here, so this, because of this wick on the high time frames. So part of me believes that this is actually going to be our bias is going to be against this range now. So for the short, right? So basically for this one, it would be the same thing. Some sort of manipulation high, followed by a sweep of the low, and then a state retest to the highs. That's kind of the goal here. I'll mark down 0. Obviously, I don't expect it going down to 0. ICP is a great project, but basically something in the market is going to happen in the future where it's going to crash. Basically, every single chart is showing me that we're going to be manipulating to the highs, and then the market's going to crash after that point. When we do make that crash, I could see ICP making a new all-time low. That is when I will buy it. I actually have alerts on my other chart for ICP when it breaks $2, because that'll be when I look to buy. And on the monthly, the same thing here, right? We actually have a monthly all the way up at 37. So really, if we're clearing the IRL to the monthly side, after we sweep that low, next target would be 37. So ICP is a sleeper. It's going to need to consolidate one more time. For those of you who are aware, we are going to make one more high of a lower high, followed by the sweep. When we do that, that'll be the time we buy, and then we double down, right? We double down once we do the monthly retest of $4 and $6 or $4 roughly, and then because that'll be a confirmation, we're going back above 30. So ICP sleeper, bullish here though, right? Bullish here in the short term, right? Short term, yes, bullish, but be careful because this is going to be a manipulation leg, right? Up towards $10, and that'll be the short. Awesome. Okay, so what's next? Let's go keep going. Arrow. You mentioned you want arrow 3 times now, so twice I'll do arrow. So arrow. I think you actually asked me this, Stephen. You asked me this last time. I believe it was you or someone else. And I drew this chart back, last week, and it's following it quite nicely. Quite nicely. We are in almost very close to buy zones for arrow. Very, very, very close. As you can see, I have an alert right here, because as soon as we do sweep 497, this is going to be like a daily sweep. Once we do, we're going to close back above 497. That'll be the confirmation where the draw is back up to 1.2. So I'll probably be taking this long as well, but it is just not ready yet. It's just not ready. So it's one of those things we'll just have to wait on, right? You could easily anchor your stop here, or you can anchor your stop on the low time frame SMR when you watch one, because this is a daily chart. So same thing, arrow, definitely on watch, but I want to see 497 broken first. So take it level to level, right? We're not even long bias yet here, but we are very close. Cool. Gerardo, do you think we'll pump in June and then dump in July and August? Yes, roughly. I would say the dump would probably start maybe the next quarter, right? So maybe in like 1 or 2 months, roughly. Yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. XCH. Oof. This one, guys. This one is. Let me just first explain to you something. We got a yearly low and quarterly equal lows that were just taken on this quarterly candle. Now, if in the next 28 days we can start to continue to make closures above 11.80 cents, we are 28 days away from this candle closing. And now let's think probabilities. We're in OT bias for this range right now, right? We swept daily liquidity. You see all this daily liquidity right here? Almost all of it has been swept. We only have like one down here, a couple like at 1050 and 1030. But when we do sweep this and we start to make closures and mount 1180 again, guess what? That will be the all-time low. We will never see this price again in probably for years, because these are quarterly lows right here that we swept. So now with that assumption, I can make the assertion that we're going to be seeking a new all-time high, right? And we're going to be taking a third range high, third drive, right? We have 1, we have 2. We're going to have a third drive. This third drive could easily land us upwards of 100, if not more, right? Because it'll be very impulsive when it does happen. So I am accumulating XCH here, holding for the daily swing and the quarterly push back up, the quarterly impulse. So I'm going to have a quarterly impulse on this. We want to take the reclaim of 1180, followed by 20, right? We want to break and mount. It's not going to go straight up like my line is. That's kind of like a joke because of how bullish I am on this. But basically, I would expect it to be something like this. We sweep, break and mount, take 20, break and mount 11, or possibly 14, and then 28 again. After that, we're already in low time. We're already in the previous range, right? So we'll be breaking and mounting 20, and guess what? We're never going to see 10 again after that, guys. Never. So from there, it's just gonna go parabolic because we're gonna be flipping this daily range, and something like that is gonna happen, right? So I'm in this. I'm holding. Just gonna keep adding because this is the bottom. If we can hold 11 and even sweep below 10 and then continue to bounce from there. Cool. So let's do Brett. Same thing with Brett. This one is actually kind of nice. I actually charted this in April. You see this line? You literally just saw me pull this chart up. I did not put this line on beforehand, and it's followed my pathing almost perfectly. So now the same thing here, right? I'll just tweak my pathing just slightly, right? Same thing here is we're at this POC. We want to reclaim 05888, right? So if we can reclaim this based on what I'm saying on this monthly, right? The monthly extension, going back into that bias, if we can reclaim it, Brett, same thing. We're going to see a new range basically being taken. So from there, right? Meme coin season also right around the corner. So pretty bullish on Brett as well because again, we did sweep those lows. We didn't take. Is this Oh no, it is. It is. Okay, yeah, so we're good. All we need to do, guys, is just consolidate. If we can consolidate and push just a little bit more and mount 0.5, then this is going to be a good bias for the long. I would say considering we are under this range, the range right now, I would probably not take it just yet, but I would still say I'm bullish on it. I wouldn't short it either. I mean, you would probably see the low. You could probably see this low taken, possibly, and then a bounce, something like that. But I wouldn't short it here, and I wouldn't long it here either, just yet, because we are slightly under. If we go a little bit more and dip just to like 0.4, then I would long it. Otherwise, I would wait until we break and mount 0.58. Hopefully that answered your question, Narc. And then I'll do fart coin, and then we'll keep it going from there. Awesome. So I think I did fart coin actually a while ago. I drew this a little while ago. But what's funny is it did this impulse, and I don't know if we actually. Let me pull this draw again. No, we didn't. Huh. That's funny. Okay, well, I would say this is still valid. We reclaim this range right now. This is the new. I'll put the little line here to show you where the 8-hour equal lows. We need to reclaim that one. So $1.15 roughly. $1.15 is this range low. So if we can take that in the next few days, then I would expect this to play out where what I was saying before of the wick, right? That wick, before I deleted it, would play out to the manipulation of the highs followed by a sweep of the lows. So fart coin will be an incredibly fast wick if we can mount 1.15. So if you're in a long or you're looking for a long, I would set limits for your TPs because this is going to be fast when it does happen. This is a weekly and a monthly chart, so we would need to see the flip happen on that in order to actually see that confirmed. But until then, I would not touch this. I wouldn't touch fart coin with a 10-foot pole from this range, right? It is just it's going to be way too wick heavy from this range. Possibly a long, but I still wouldn't touch it. I would maybe a short, right? If we can see this wick and I see closures under here, I wouldn't even take these from limits. I would take these from confirmation, and I would short it back to all-time low, because the quarterly range here, we already took almost all the liquidity from here. So I wouldn't short it. I wouldn't long it. I wouldn't touch it from here personally. We do have this monthly range down there. So like here, if we do monthly, if we extend the highs, and then go to the lows. I would expect basically something like that to happen. Let me make this line a little bit clearer, right? Something like this, right? Something like that, where we take the highs and then seek the lows, roughly on the weekly. And then there's the range from there. So yeah, personally, this is just the chop fest, right? The price action for this range is only going to be like, what, a 60% move? 60. Maybe from this range, what is this? This is 60 and 70% ranges, not the best, but still pretty decent. Still a little bit more iffy for me. Cool. So let me go through the rest of the requests here. But where is? Oh, sorry, I missed everything. You guys were saying. I literally missed everything you guys were saying. Okay, so DGen, I've never seen this one. Let me redo this one. Oh, actually, maybe I have seen this one. I just don't remember it. I do not remember this, but this is actually a little interesting. Ooh, this is a little interesting here. I like this. This is not too bad. Not too bad. We are flipping bearish on the quarterly. Yeah, not a huge fan of that. But we do have one drive down, right? So that's the current range low for the SMR. And if we gauge our OT bias, we are back in long bias, right? So from this range, we do have roughly up here some stuff on the weekly. And then let's check that right from this range here. So kind of aligned the same way here. This is going to probably look like one more impulse up, like that, followed by some sort of retest, right? Something like this. Probably like 1, 2, 3. I'd want to see something like that, roughly, on DGen. So it is a little iffy, but it is actually, this is where I would probably look to long here. It is not too bad, but the range is a little wide. It's just a little too wide because we only have one drive down, and technically we could go down as low as like 0.003 right here. So I'll put this in blue, right? It's really like somewhere in this range. We're gonna have our long bias followed by a break and mount, and then a pump to the next high time frame IRL, which is like at 0.12. So I'll just redraw this in a new line. I always forget the line here. Here we go. So boom, boom, maybe something like this, and then that, and then this, and then that. Yeah, I'll clean this up. So, oops, great. And then I'll put in some levels here. There's a level. Great. So that's the bias, I would say, from this range. So hopefully that helps. Still bullish, but I would say we push up maybe a little bit, sweep below, or we push up all the way. It's one of the two, right? Depends on the closure. If we push up right now, then basically the same thing would happen, but it would happen faster. So either we sweep this low and we hold it, or sorry, we don't sweep the low and hold it, or we close this weekly above, right, above this range. So yellow or teal would happen. But still bullish, right? No matter what. If you want to anchor your stop, like you could anchor your stop all the way down like here, and you would probably be fine. You'd probably be fine from this range, right? So something like right here is I'll put a long position in. I'm not going to take this, but I'm already in some stuff right now. So, but I would say something like this roughly, which is not a bad long, right? Or even from here, that's like a 10 RR roughly. Awesome. Degen. So I did Degen. Crow. Let's do Crow. Okay, Crow. I did Crow a while ago, but I'm not sure I agree with myself anymore. Oh, you know what? Maybe that is a quarterly flip right there. Maybe. Oh yeah, this is actually pretty good. It's pretty good. Lows were taken. This would be the range balance here from that year, right? So then we sweep these lows That would be the entry. This would be the range low followed by the SMR down there. I'm gonna just mark these out real quick because then I'll know what I'm doing here. 1 monthly. Yes. So same thing here, right? Roughly, very roughly. So I'll put this a little bit more accurate here. We got 1, we got 2, and we got 3. Great. So we have 2 ranges here. We have our quarterly and yearly. Daily looks like it's actually moving towards the quarterly and then followed by the yearly. So we're going to basically trace it through to the highs, followed by a consolidation down to the lows, followed by a continuation back to the highs. So that's sort of what I would expect from this range because of where we are now. But it looks like it's still very choppy, both sides. When we do this next push up, the next push up, I wouldn't expect it to go more than like 14 cents, more than 14 cents roughly. If we do go more than 14 cents and hold on the oops, shoot, I just dropped something. I'm sorry. And hold and sorry, let me just change my. Okay, yeah. If we do go and flip 13, 14 cents on the daily, then we are going for the highs right after that, right? And we're going to go for a new all-time high. But until then, I'm going to just assume we're going to reject off of this right here, because of where this monthly is. This monthly has open IRL down here. So between, I'll mark it right out, right here. Market makers don't like to leave liquidity open on the table. They don't like to leave liquidity open. So they want to take all the liquidity they can, right? So on the yearly, we retest that range low. This is going to be really clean, actually, to be honest. If we retest this range low, hold this as the SMR, then this would be the all-time low, right? This would be the all-time low, and it would happen this year, sometime this year. So very, very nice structure here on Crow, but still a little choppy. So yeah, hopefully that's your question with Crow. I probably wouldn't play it because this range is a little too choppy for me. And you can see here we've got double weekly open equal lows and an SMR right below it. So basically this is a these are traders just like saying, hey, market makers, come take my liquidity. Come take my liquidity. Here's my stop loss. Come take my liquidity, please. I'm putting my stop loss here. So come take it. I joke. So Cipher, yes, I do trade with large capital, but I've been taking profits out consistently for the past like 3.5 years. So by large capital, it's kind of just been up and down, but still overall pretty good. But yes, thank you. Appreciate the compliment. Joe, yes, thank you. Catch you later. And yeah, that is pretty much it. That's all I had. So yeah, guys, if you have any other questions, my DMs are always open, or you can message, in the Ask channel, and hit me up and catch you all later. Thanks for joining.